try. Oh, this meeting is being recorded. But anyway, it's kind of churned up some stuff for me, which has made for an unsettling, a little more emotional week than
Mm-hmm.
most.
Yep.
And so that's kind of where I've been.
Mm-hmm.
And we thought it would be important to kind of discuss one, I'm sure most can relate living the actual shitstorm. And then two, like, how can you support someone who's going through it while maybe you're in a phase where you are not?
Mm-hmm.
So finding that balance, just like you said, supporting them while also continuing to support yourself through
Mm-hmm.
it
Mm-hmm.
and sharing some of the things that we have been experiencing and incorporating over the last week while I've been in the shitstorm and you've
Mm-hmm.
been in support mode.
Yeah, absolutely. And it doesn't help that we're not in the same space. There's yet another layer. And the irony that we've uncovered, and we were just talking about this in our pre-call um, before we jumped on here, was that's precisely the point, is that there are times when aloneness is so necessary and we're terrified of it because, and I was trying to recall the Pink line of one of her very famous songs, Sober, we avoid the silence because that's where what reveals the truth.
Oh,
Is
totally.
oftentimes when we are alone, that's when we are forced, we can make a choice on dealing with our shit and going inward and doing the really, really hard work because we're not distracted by a partner, by kids, by job, by hustle, and so our normal rhythm, we spend an enormous amount of time together, right? We have the blessing to be able to travel back and forth from Kansas City to Nashville and spend most of our time together. And we have not been in that space. So I have not been able to provide the physical support, right, that I love to do, and holding you and cherishing you and honoring you and kissing you and being there present during this. And perhaps the beautiful irony is that it then forces you to actually deal with the shitstorm. And that's where we are.
Absolutely. I agree completely with all of that. And it was so beautifully said. It seems
Thank you,
like
babe.
this was definitely my responsibility to navigate for myself
Mm,
and to be loved from a distance all the while, too.
mm,
So I know that everything has happened exactly how it was supposed to.
mm,
And it really does feel beautiful, even though it's been brutal, too,
mm-hmm. Yeah.
and uncomfortable and challenging. And um, yeah, so I've appreciated you. How,
Mm,
okay, so here's a question for the audience. How have
yeah.
you shown up for me while maintaining your boundaries this week?
Yeah. That's a fantastic question. I think this is the difficult, and we do this often. It's really foundational in our work at Daring Deeply, right? And providing that coaching support for so many amazing people is understanding what boundaries really mean. And this is an opportunity for us to highlight that, is how can I and how should I, how do I need to be leaning into and supporting you, and also not allowing myself to go into the same shitstorm, right?
Hmm.
It's truly understanding there's a boundary here. This is your monkey. This is your circus. Paige
All of
needs to deal with yeah, all of them. Paige needs to work through this and leverage my support. And I need to be able to say, you know what? This is her situation. These are things in which she needs to work through. I can certainly be there in tremendous amount of support. And so I wanted to, and we wanted to highlight some of that. And I want your feedback and what you need more. And just kind of have this dialogue. I think what's super important, number one, is for the person who is providing the support or wants to provide the support is to offer the support and then to receive them without judgment, without fixing, without saving. Oh, that's my history. That's my history, is to swoop in and save, right? And I can. One of our guidelines of engagement at Daring Deeply is just because I can doesn't mean I should. So can I save Paige? No, not really. But I think that I can because I have the tools, because I do this professionally and blah, 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 blah. And she's the love of my life. And I want to do everything that I can to provide her safety and security and love and all of that. And she has to work through it herself. So to receive her first, to listen, full presence listening, to listen to it all and not want to fix her, or I guess I can want to. I choose not to, and allow her to bitch and moan and gripe and cry and do all the things that she needs to do to express, and I can simply receive her. I don't have to carry her burdens along with mine because now two people are burdened. What's the point, right? And she needs to, for me to take away her burden right, would be doing her a disservice, because then
Mhm.
she's not working through what she needs to. So I think a powerful question, powerful question. You brought this up earlier, Paige, and you probably remember it. I'm going to tee it up for you. What is the question that most served you during this week that I said?
Yeah, I think this question can be incorporated into pretty much every aspect of life, but especially in these moments of fragility, is how can I support you through this? How can I support you right now?
Mm,
And sometimes simply asking that question is all the support I'm really searching for.
yeah,
And oftentimes we don't really have an answer. Like, I don't know how you can support me. And
right.
that's okay
Mm-hmm.
until maybe there's movement or more clarity around that, than just knowing that there is a safe space and that there is support in the other person to ultimately ask for it once we know what it is.
Absolutely. I love that. What's super important to understand about this just came to me energetically, is it's not my responsibility for you. It's not my responsibility to craft the answer that you need to provide me.
Mm,
And that somehow I need to be satisfied with whatever answer you come up with, the answer to the question, how can I support you? Because it could be, I don't know, David, I don't got a clue. And you have answered that way this week. I'm not sure what I need right now. And so I have a couple of options there to say, tell me, I need to know. I'm hurting too. You've got to share with me. How can I fix you? Right? Is to be satisfied. I need to be satisfied with your answer, which is, I don't have a damn idea. I have no idea. Simply
mm,
being here on FaceTime, simply being on the phone, simply texting, whatever we're communicating is perhaps all that you need. And you don't know. And it's okay that you don't know. It's super
mhm,
important that we communicate that, by the way. And we do that all with our clients all the time. Is it's okay not to know. It's okay to feel whatever you're feeling. It's okay to feel rage. It's okay to feel frustration. It's okay to feel sadness. It's okay to want to cry. It's okay for all of that, especially when we're told so often that we're not allowed to feel, right? That we
mm.
need to just muscle up, right? Put on our big girl panties and move on.
Yep,
Yeah.
I know what that's
So
like.
yeah. So I need to be, as the supporter, right? And this is some wisdom that we can extend to everyone here on the call, is it's my responsibility simply to provide the invitation and to validate whatever you're going to bring to me, not to judge it, not to fix it, right? And whatever comes, comes, right? And for me, not to stew in it as well, for my life not to shut down, right? Because your life is in a place of deep introspection. I still need to be leveled and boundaried and in an equilibrium so I can continue to provide what I need first and
Mhm.
what you need. Because the last thing you need is for me to go into the pain with you. And then it's
Right.
two people living in misery, right?
Absolutely. And I've
Yeah.
totally done that before when I have
Mm-hmm.
tried to save people who are experiencing their shitstorm at the
Mm-hmm.
moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's two of us kind of swimming around in this, oh my gosh, terribleness.
Yeah,
And neither one of us are helping or supporting either one. And
exactly.
so I have been so guilty of that in the past and sometimes today,
Mm-hmm.
but better, stronger with boundaries, loving you from a distance and
Mm-hmm.
supporting you through whatever you're going through at the same
Yeah.
time.
So hard. I wish it were
It's so
easy.
hard,
I wish it were so easy. And we receive a lot of this feedback from our clients. Well, I'm just a giver. I
right?
just love people more than others. Right? I get it. I understand it. Right? We deal and we work with some amazing people who are considered empaths. Like, yeah, I just take it on because I love them so much, or I love too hard. We hear this often, right? I just love too much, right? I would invite us to consider really what that phrase means. Is it means I'm loving so hard, I'm entering their pain as well, and then I'm unable to disembark from their pain. I
Mhm.
take it on myself, and then my life is dramatically affected. It
Totally.
doesn't. So I can see a perspective where, well, David, you're just not supporting Paige because you're not giving everything to her that she needs, right?
Mm,
When in reality, I'm loving her more, all right? I'm loving her the most by establishing that boundary and saying, babe, I get it. I'm here. I can understand that. whatever you need, how can I support you right now, right here?
Mhm.
And my life goes on,
Yeah.
right? I'm not stopping.
Rather, rather than prioritizing my pain over your life.
Oh, say it again. Say that again.
Rather than prioritizing my pain over your life.
Oh, y'all, if you're taking notes, listen to this woman. She's brilliant. Write that down. Exactly. Because when we do
Mhm.
that, we sabotage two lives,
Yep.
right? Right. It's the Brene Brown, right? The person's in the hole, the true definition of empathy, right? Is we go down with them and help them out, right? And we're still not in the hole with them. Like, we have a plan to get out. Well, I can't help you if I'm in the hole with you and there's no plan to get out of that. So I often say that really powerfully healing, supportive, covenantal relationships, like I consider ours, my love, is one where we can balance and find the equilibrium. And so to know, it doesn't mean that my life is bright and shiny and perfect, right? But I'm in a space that's not in your space right now. And so I can provide the support. I can provide that love, right, that you need. Um, because what we don't realize is too often, and I know I've been here and I know you've been here, to where, oh, we don't want to burden others. So we don't want to share our pain, right?
Mhm.
The reality is that those of us who are in the support role, right, are detached from the depth of the emotional draw and the trauma and the pain and the disappointment, the depression, and all those types of things. So we're able to have a clearer mindset and perspective to be able to offer that support, right?
Mhm.
And so that's what's so super important to have within a really, really powerful co-creative romantic relationship like ours.
Mhm. Yeah,
Super hard.
discerning
Mm.
what's yours and what's mine.
Another truth
And
bomb, y'all. Bob? No, there's no
yeah,
Bob
just
here.
being able to understand which is which and identifying and classifying it as such
Mm-hmm.
allows for easier, I guess, surrender into it all.
Wow, that's powerful. Easier surrender. Boy, we could talk about surrender forever. Woo! We won't today. So, all right. So let's wrap this up. We've been on here long enough. People are like, okay, I got to get back to lunch.
Me too.
Oh, I wanted to say this. What'd you say?
Me too.
Me too. Something I did want to put a little bow on before we wrap it up and kind of summarize what we've said. It's really super important to provide the celebratory love for the person to come to you and say, I'm having a really shitty day. This is what's going on, and I'm not sure how to get out of it. That takes an enormous amount of bravery and strength and vulnerability to confess and admit, I don't have it all together and I'm having a really hard time. And for the supporter to provide that celebration, right, in an appropriate way, to celebrate with them and say, wow, thank you so much for coming to me with this. Thank you so much for sharing, because I know that's not easy.
Yeah.
That can help begin the healing process, certainly, by knowing that someone is there, right, and providing that type of support.
Absolutely, because we don't have to do this alone, right? We don't have to do this alone, and often we feel like we're supposed to because we're adults. We should be able to handle this, right?
Woo! Mm-hmm.
And in reality, that's not the way
Yeah.
it should be or can be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I agree. Celebrating, like, hey, thank you so much. That took an insane amount of courage just to express that you're feeling a little fragile, a little weak this week, or whatever you're feeling.
Or a lot fragile, or a lot weak.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And being able to initiate that conversation to just kind of reach the hand out for support. And it's beautiful. So thank you for loving on me this week, even though we are physically apart.
Mm-hmm.
You've done an amazing job, and I am forever
Mm-hmm.
grateful for you.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna make me cry. Which I've said, I've committed. I even put in public to commit to cry once a day, out of joy, out of love, out of. So anyway, thank you. And thank you for receiving me, and thank you for validating me, and thank you for honoring me by receiving me and coming to me and trusting me with that. So, all right, so receive them, validate them, ask the really powerful question, how can I support you now, right, to establish that boundary that's so super important, to listen to them and to believe them and say, hey, if they don't know, they don't know. Right. And then we can continue to be there. We don't have to be at the beck and call at the expense of our own lives. Right. And simply to celebrate their vulnerability. So I hope this has been, go ahead. I don't want to cut you off.
And to pay it forward, right? Because I know, and it's happened in the past, but like, I know that the next shitstorm, I don't know, could be you. You have shitstorms.
Not could, it's going to happen, right?
Yeah. And so like, because you support me during mine, all I want to do is support you when you're experiencing yours. And so it's just this mutual, just a synergistic love and support, and I don't know, teamwork comes to mind. Of navigating all of life, the good, the bad, the fugly.
The fugly, I love it.
And
very true.
Yes, pay it forward.
Absolutely. I love it. Baby, thank you. Thank you for coming to this live vulnerably and confessing and admitting, hey, I'm having a really hard time. I know that's not easy. It's not easy for any of us to do. Especially when we're in roles that we are, where we're influencers, and this is what we do for a living, is to help provide that type of support for other people, for us to go, you know what, I don't have my shit together, right? As we like to define ourselves as wounded healers. That's what we are. So thank you, baby. I admire you. You inspire me. I love you so much.
Oh, right back at you. Thank you so much for leading and for supporting me and loving me. I love you too.
Thank you, friends. Thank you, friends, for jumping on here. By the way, if you want to know more about what we do at Daring Deeply, let us know. That's what we're here to do. And
we have a couple retreat spots coming up.
We do have some retreat spots. So if you're interested in watching this process and how it really can become a reality, in moving through life and healing and transforming, we certainly have some opportunities for you if you're interested in knowing more about what we do. And we love you regardless. So thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part. Thanks for following Daring Deeply. David Lee.
H. Stewart.
There we go. All right. I love you, babe.
All right. Bye, guys. Love you.
Bye-bye. Take care.